More than 1,000 survivors of the Las Vegas massacre are now being sued by MGM Resorts, a move that is sparking major backlash. Joining me to break down the controversial lawsuit is criminal defense attorney David Bruno. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Jillian.
How is this possible?
Yeah, well, this is a federal law. 2002, they passed the Support Anti-Terrorism by Fostering Technology Act. It's called the Safety Act. What it does is it encourages private companies to hire security companies that are certified by the Department of Homeland Security. In the law, it says that if the companies do hire these security companies, they will be shielded from lawsuits. That is the basis here. They are not seeking damages from the victims.
Right.
They are seeking court clarification that this law protects them from being sued by these victims in state and federal court.
It's just not a good look. I mean, is this worth the public relations nightmare that I would assume would spiral from this?
Well, you can imagine the amount of liability they possibly have if they're not shielded. Right? There have already been 2,500 either lawsuits or threatened to file lawsuits. And how much money could possibly be owed. So is this a public relations nightmare? Absolutely. It was in October at the shooting itself, and now this is take two.
Wow,
this is not good. Not good whatsoever.
I'd imagine for especially the victims' families that this is a pretty tough thing right now.
Now, one of the parts of the federal law requires them to also have insurance. So they have the insurance to pay out the victims. Also, the security company is also liable.
Okay.
The law does not protect the security company.
Just MGM Resorts.
Correct.
Now, MGM claims no liability in federal complaints, which state, quote, plaintiffs have no liability of any kind to defendants or any of them arising from the Paddock's mass attack. And then the attorney for the victims responds, quote, I've never seen a more outrageous thing where they sue the victims in an effort to find a judge they like. It's just really sad that they would stoop to this level.
Well, they're picking the federal court because in the law itself, it says the federal court has exclusive jurisdiction. So this is not a forum shopping move here. Also, I think there may be a way out for victims. This is a very specific fact pattern where Paddock came into the MGM hotel days before.
Right. Loaded in all those suitcases. We saw the video. 20
plus suitcases with guns and ammo, right? So is this within the intention of the statute? Probably not. They didn't think that there would be a tower, right? The person would come in days before. What can the security company do about that days before? So I think that will be an argument that the victims' attorneys can further in this declaratory judgment action.
How do you see this playing out?
Federal court's going to have to make a decision, and we know about these appeals now. We have the circuit courts and the United States Supreme Court that ultimately can rule on and interpret this federal statute to see if there is, in fact, immunity for MGM.
You've never seen anything like this, you said?
No, certainly not of this magnitude.
Yeah.
I mean, there may have been some slip and falls that have come throughout the courts, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a tragedy. So it's getting the attention that it deserves.
David Bruno, thank you for your time. We appreciate it and for your insight.